2, 3.
Driving, Affirmed and Alidar, heads apart. Affirmed's got a nose in front as they come onto the wire.
It has been 25 years since a horse won the Triple Crown. That streak could come to an end this weekend. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Metters. Welcome to Long John Silver's Wire to Wire. We'll work Randy Moss in just a moment. But first, Funny Side and his bid for the Triple Crown. Ken Barkley tags pull a rabbit out of the hat. Well, his sleight of hand still works with the media. He said he would bring him out this morning at 8:45 at Belmont after the break. Didn't happen. Brought him out at 5:30 a.m. Worked him 6 furlongs. He galloped 55 furlongs in 57 and 4. The splits there 22 and 45. So a little bit of trickery there for the media as Barkley Tag keeps everybody guessing. All right, let's bring in Randy Moss. And Randy, the lure of a Triple Crown, you know, at the moment, really, it's not that uncommon.
Thanks, Jeff. It seems like a yearly occurrence now. Believe it or not, this is 5 of the last 7 years we've gone into the Belmont Stakes with at least a possibility of a Triple Crown winner. You don't have to be a graybeard to remember them all. Silver Charm in 97, Real Quiet beating just a nose in the Belmont in 98, Charismatic. Last year, War Emblem stumbling badly at the start. Funny Side, in my opinion, has as good a chance as any of those horses to become racing's 12th Triple Crown winner. Let's take a look at Funny Side as well as his probable competition in the Belmont. And here is Kentucky Derby and Preakness winner Funny Side. Of course, ridden by Jose Santos. Funny Side is going to have to maintain his form. That's the big question. A lot of horses coming off big wins in the first 2 legs of the Triple Crown just can't seem to muster the same sort of energy in the Belmont Stakes, but certainly Funny Side has been looking good training at Belmont Park, and Belmont is his home track. Empire Maker, the horse that was the favorite over Funny Side in the Kentucky Derby, the horse that defeated Funny Side fairly comfortably in the Wood Memorial, is once again conceivably the thorn in Funny Side's side, no pun intended. Empire Maker, second in the Kentucky Derby, has not started since then. He's been laying low for trainer Bobby Frankel, but he'll be ready to roll in the Belmont. He's bred to get a 1.5 miles. So is this colt, Dynaver, who will make his debut in Triple Crown competition. Very lightly raced, 4 starts, but 3 of those victories, including impressive runs in the Aventura at Gulfstream Park, most recently overcoming traffic trouble in the Lone Star Derby. Dynaver making the jump from 1 1/8 to 1.5 miles, but his pedigree says 1.5 miles, no problem, trained by Christophe Clement. Remember this horse, 10 Most Wanted at Jockey Pat Day. The horse that was on everybody's wise guy list in the Kentucky Derby, but who ran poorly after being bumped around leaving the starting gate. Like Empire Maker, 10 Most Wanted has been off since the Kentucky Derby, but trainer Wally DeLassy, who had 10 Most Wanted out in California, said he has been doing very well. He lives to fight again. Scrimshaw, what Triple Crown race would be a Triple Crown race without trainer Wayne Lucas? Scrimshaw, of course, fought early with Peace Rules in the Preakness Stakes. The probable pace setter, I would think, among the probable contenders for the Belmont Stakes. Scrimshaw will be ridden again by Gary Stevens. He fought just like Funny Side in the Derby, then the Preakness, now the Belmont. Best Minister, trained by Ken McPeak, looks eerily similar to McPeak's 70-1 upsetter of a year ago, Sarava. Sarava won the Sir Barton in 2002, then upset the Belmont Stakes. Best Minister also coming off a win in that small stakes race at Pimlico. Best Minister will make his first start in a graded stakes race. Finally, number 7, or at least 7th on our list of 7 probables, Supervisor, who is trained by Linda Rice. This horse, of all the ones we've talked about so far, will be the longest shot by far. Supervisor has had 15 lifetime starts, only 2 wins, only $118,000 in earnings, but Belmont is his home track. Supervisor is coming off a 3rd-place finish in the Peter Pan Stakes on May 24th in his most recent start. All right, Jeff, that's a look. Funny Side and all the others. Could be 7-horse field, could be 8, could be 9. Funny Side, though, whatever size the field is, will have no shortage of competition as he tries to make history Saturday afternoon.
And we'll have no shortage of coverage from Belmont starting on Friday. The Acorn, the headliner there, that starts at 4:30 Eastern. And then on Saturday, busy as well. We'll have Wire to Wire early in the morning, the Belmont Stakes Special, and the Triple Crown starting at 7. And, of course, for more, you can go to ESPN.com. And now let's go retro. Chris Lincoln turns back the clock on the Belmont Stakes.
Funny Side, the New York bred gelding, is at his home track at Belmont Park in New York, where this Saturday he will attempt to become the 12th Triple Crown winner in history and the first gelding to ever wear the crown. Only one gelding, Creme Fraiche, in 1985, trained by the late Hall of Famer Woody Stevens, has ever won the Belmont Stakes. Of course, geldings were not even allowed to run in this American Classic from 1918 until 1957. And if Funnyside becomes the first Triple Crown winner in 25 years since affirmed in 1978, his winner's share of the $1 million purse plus the $5 million Visa Triple Crown bonus would make him the sport's top money-winning gelding of all time. He would break the $6.5 million mark of the legendary John Henry. And the best thing about Funnyside winning the Triple Crown is that he won't be retiring. Geldings just keep running and running and running. I'm Chris Lincoln with this Belmont Stakes Racehorse Retro.
And for more on the Belmont, the place to go, ESPN Classic, our Thoroughbred Classics, the Belmont Stakes. You can catch it on June 4th, 6th, and 7th. And, of course, for more information, you can go to ESPN.com. And here's our timeline breakdown. It's a busy weekend at Belmont. We're talking about more than just the Belmont Stakes. We have an action-packed speed still ahead. And we'll find out if Kim still loves Bucky in Final Furlongs.
This ESPN2 presentation of Long John Silver's Wire to Wire is brought to you by Long John Silver's. Dive into something new. Citgo, we know you. Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown. The Florida Department of Agriculture.
Yes, the Belmont Stakes will be the main event in New York this weekend, but it's also a pretty busy time at Belmont. 7 graded stakes, plus we have graded stakes at Hollywood Park and at Churchill Downs, and that's the focus of this NTRA Great Stakes segment. We start in New York, the Manhattan. With anticipation, the 8-year-old should be back second in the Breeders' Cup Turf a year ago. He won 3 Grade 1s last year and was nominated for an Eclipse Award. He'll face Denon and probably Honor and War. In the Riva Ridge at Belmont, Midas Eyes, here he is winning the Derby trial on April 26th. According to Franklin, he wasn't 100%, and that's why he was so impressive, likely to face Halo Homewrecker. The True North Breeders' Cup Handicap at Belmont. Say Florida Sandy. Right now, Funnyside, the #2 all-time leading New York bred. Say Florida Sandy, #1, over $2 million in earnings. The Honeymoon at Hollywood, 1 1/8 on the grass. Atlantic Ocean, she was 9th in the Kentucky Oaks. Here she finishes 2nd in the Fairgrounds Oaks. They're moving her to the grass. Good prep for the American Oaks. At the Jefferson Cup at Churchill, Senior Swinger didn't fare too well in the Preakness, so they move him back to the grass. Here he is on May 2nd, winning the American Turf, trained by Bob Baffert. Domestic Dispute could also switch from the dirt to the grass to give him some competition. Here's a look at our upcoming stakes. As I mentioned, very busy up there in New York. The main event, the Acorn on Friday. On Saturday, lots to see and do at Belmont Park. Most of that will be covered in our Belmont special on ESPN. And moving on, still on Saturday at Hollywood Park, there you see the Honeymoon Breeders' Cup Handicap and the Jefferson Cup Stakes at Churchill Downs. And on Sunday, the Grade 2 Vagrancy Handicap. Now to a big speed, we have stops at Ruidoso, Delta Downs, and Los Alamitos. And it all starts with the MBNA America California Challenge Championship, a Grade 2 at Los Al, featuring co-world champion Who's Leaving Who, trying to secure a spot in the final, but his dream would be derailed. Here's the call.
And away they go in the California Challenge Championship, and Who's Leaving Who came out running powerfully, and so did Your First Moon, who's right alongside Catch Me in Your Dreams and Harley Man, and Westmont on the outside as Your First Moon running lights out tonight, takes on the champion Who's Leaving Who, and even Catch Me in Your Dreams going to try to score a big upset. In fact, Catch Me in Your Dreams is now absolutely full of run, and Catch Me in Your Dreams beats Who's Leaving Who.
Catch Me in Your Dreams was a nightmare for the co-world champion. The 25-1 long shot gets the nod by a half length. The gelding is a son of Fritzy Dash, was bred in Utah, 98 speed index. It's the fastest quarter mile of the meet so far. He loves the distance. This horse could be a player this year at Los Alamitos. Now we ship east to Delta Downs, finals of the MBNA America East Challenge. This is also a Grade 2 going 440 yards. The winner will represent the East in the Challenge Championships. Zuki Street, the 8-horse, was the favorite, but jockey Gilbert Ortiz had some problems with the power steering. Zuki Street drifts in from the outside. He will catch, can't stay, got a run at the wire, but the results were up for review. And in the end, Zuki Street DQ'd from 1st to 4th, darkening what would have been a pretty impressive performance. The top 5 horses all post 100 speed indexes or better, but it's Can't Stay, Gotta Run who will represent the East on November 1st at Los Alamitos. One more from Delta Downs, the Professional's Choice East Challenge Stakes. Horses that have run for a $7,500 claiming price in their careers. These horses are also trying to earn their way to the Rich Challenge Championships at Los Al on November 1st. This race had so many entries that it looked more like a bingo card, and in the end, it was a toast to KC, horse number 1X. KC almost wins by a length, but this one was close all over. Roland McPie holds on for second by a neck, while Blazing Cheval was third by a nose. And it was even closer than that farther back in the pack. In fact, a four-way dead heat. Now, what are the chances of that happening? A four-way dead heat. Back to Los Al, a grade 3, the town policy. 3-year-olds going 350 yards. 2 to watch here, the favorite, Tiene Mucho Blanco and Mongoose Jedi.
Underway they go. And Mongoose Jedi got off to a good start, a tough start for Tiene Mucho Blanco's in a lot of trouble. I ought to be first. Dale Badone's running strongly as well as I ought to be first. Comes up on the outside, but Mongoose Jedi is still absolutely raging with run. And Mongoose Jedi coming home the easiest of winners.
This equals the fastest 350-yard performance of the meet. Dennis Gibbons trains for Tom the Mongoose McEwen, my all-time favorite funny car driver. This is Mr. Eye-Opener filly. Trainer Paul Jones was second in the California Challenge Championship and second in the town policy. So the AQHA champion trainer cools off a little out west. Finally, the Bayer Legend Derby Trials from Ruidoso Downs. This is the 3-year-old division in the Challenge Championships. Out Dashing was the favorite in this trial. Here's the call.
They're up and running. Out Dashing breaks out on top. Here comes Bourbon Street Check rushing up on the outside. Bourbon Street Check just in front. Out Dashing under the whip now in second. Daredevil Dash is on the far outside. Through the stretch they come. Out Dashing and Bourbon Street Check. These are the two. Out Dashing on the inside. Drawing clear. Out Dashing to win.
Out Dashing, guided by Larry Payne, is the fastest qualifier. The Gelding by Toast to Dash is trained by Eddie Willis. He broke sharply and had his head in front all the way. He wins by a smooth length. Out Dashing qualifies on top. Bourbon Street Chick, who was second in the trials, also makes the final field of 10. Just less than a half second separates the 10 qualifiers. The finals will be a grade 3, and it is scheduled for June 15th, and we'll have that, of course, right here in Speed on Long John Silver's Wire to Wire. For more information about American Quarter Horse Racing, give the AQHA a call at 1-800-414-RIDE. Still to come, Final Furlongs includes the ACAC Handicap. And later on, we'll have more on Funny Side and actually answer your viewer mail. We'll be back in just a flash. Back on Long John Silver's Wire to Wire, Citgo leaderboard, Belmont winning post positions. This is over about the last 100 years, and this is something the trainers and owners might take to heart. The inside post position, number 1, has been on top. 22, second best. The 3-hole and also the 5-hole. 7 and 2 also provided 11 winners each, so something to keep in mind as they gear up for the Belmont Stakes. Well, Randy Moss is pretty notorious for coming in over budget on Final Furlongs. The producer will give him 4 minutes. He'll come back with about 6, but every now and then he gets it right. And Randy, this is one of those weeks you actually came in under budget.
Jeff, we have a very abbreviated Final Furlong segment. As a matter of fact, we set a record for economy here. Only 3 races in Final Furlongs this week because of the lack of graded races on this past weekend's card. We begin Saturday at Churchill Downs with the Louisville Handicap. Older turf horses going 1 mile and 3/8 at the start. Williams News stumbled so badly he almost lost his jockey. And now as we pick up the action, 4-1, Kim Loves Bucky has taken over the lead from the pace setter, 5-2 favorite Quest Star.
Final Furlong they come. Kim Loves Bucky opens up. Here comes Rochester on the outside. Kim Loves Bucky from Rochester. Kim Loves Bucky, Rochester. Kim Loves Bucky hangs in.
For a brief moment, it appeared Pat Day had timed his move perfectly on Rochester, but Kim Loves Bucky held on for his 3rd stakes victory, all in grade 3s in Kentucky. The 6-year-old gelding was bred by retired biochemist Dr. John Glennie and his wife Kim of Lexington. They also own him, and John Glennie trains him. Kim Loves Bucky's next start could be the UN Handicap at Monmouth, July the 5th. Next, 2 stakes race at Hollywood Park, ungraded but solid. On Saturday, the 7.5 furlong ACAC Handicap, field of 7, headed by 7-5 favorite Crafty CT, who's almost nowhere in the picture right now as he begins to rally late. But look at the horse in front, Joey Franco. Ridden by Pat Valenzuela, a huge victory. His buyer speed figure, a career high, 109. The ACAC, the first stakes win against unrestricted company for Joey Franco, a 4-year-old California bred owned by Jerry Frankel and trained by Gerald Vienna. And Sunday, the Manhattan Beach Stakes at Hollywood. 5.5 furlongs on the turf, 3-year-old fillies. The even money favorite, Cat Doggone, had all sorts of traffic trouble. Start, turn, the stretch. But look at her shoot forward under Mike Smith. That's Cat Doggone, pulling away to win anyway by 2 lengths. She was bred in England, originally raced there before being purchased by a California-based partnership. Cat Doggone is trained by Jim Cassidy, and the Manhattan Beach Stakes was her first stakes victory. Well, we have a little extra time to answer some viewer mail, with apologies to David Letterman. Not just one, but 2 emails from viewers. First, Paul Espinosa of Charlestown, West Virginia asks, does it make you question Funnyside's stamina the way he switched leads near the end of the Preakness, or was he just getting bored? Well, horses can switch running leads in the stretch from their right lead leg to their left for various reasons. It can be fatigue. It can also be discomfort. It can also be boredom or inexperience. In the case of Funnyside, it might be none of the above. If you notice in the Kentucky Derby, Funnyside switched his lead from his right front leg to his left with about a 16th of a mile left to run or thereabouts. He did the same thing in the Preakness at almost the same time. And even in a workout leading up to the Preakness Stakes at Belmont Park, Funnyside did the same sort of lead change. Unless you can get in Funnyside's head, there's no way to know for sure exactly why he's doing that, but it looks like it's just a habit that Funnyside is developing. Also, Robert Green of Temple City, California wants to know if there was some bumping in the stretch between Peace Rules and Scrimshaw. Why was there no steward's inquiry? Well, as we take a look at the isolated replay of Peace Rules in the stretch of the Preakness, you'll see that there was some minor contact between Peace Rules and Scrimshaw. No foul claim for Edgar Prado aboard Peace Rules, and that probably had as much to do with it as anything else. If I was a steward, maybe I would have lit the inquiry sign, Jeff, but certainly I don't think there was anything in the stretch run of the Preakness Stakes that warranted a disqualification. As they say in football, incidental contact.
Those were good questions, and I'm kind of worried that Randy is becoming the Dr. Phil of thoroughbred racing, but good questions, and I think he's tired of me asking him questions all the time, so keep sending them in. All that we have left is our race of the week. It was soggy up there in Belmont, the Sheepshead Bay. Those Europeans, they do love a yielding turf course.
Your